Wayne moves the agenda as presented. All in favor? I want to push the button. Okay. 3.1, I guess we'll do the delegation.
Settle it, it's going to be a long one.
Good. We need,
Well, it's impressive that you guys got that up and running already. That was fast.
Yeah, I can't take any credit for it.
no, that's one thing about Connie. She's very passionate about this stuff, and that's a big credit to her.
Yep.
So make sure you guys write that down and give her a compliment.
Do I need that to have that on? Mm-hmm. Okay, so
You can look this way too, Connie. You don't have to turn around.
That way we can see your better side.
yeah, stop putting my, never mind. So bringing more ag into schools, Kyle made a valid point of we're doing a lot with Irvin School. We should have more in other schools. The classroom agriculture program with Ag for Life has taken over from kind of a conglomerate of different commodity groups. It was mostly led by the Alberta Cattle Commission, so that's kind of moved away. But they did have a lot of producer groups in it, and they still do, kind of funding that. So since Ag for Life has gotten rid of the regional coordinators, I was one of them, we just don't get as many registrations. They've changed it to an online registration where you have to create a profile, and I think that's kind of turned some of the teachers off. So I'm proposing something a little more personal within Cypress County boundaries. So here's some names I kind of thought: Cypress County Farm Kids, Cypress County Agriculture Kids, you know, Dirt Club, whatever we want to call it. Just some names up there. The target schools, the classroom agriculture program was only doing grade 4, then they went to grade 5, 6. I'm proposing we can do K to 6 classes. So those are the 29 schools we have here. The ones that I've highlighted are the ones that I think we should target for this year. I'll do 2 classes in Ralston, K to 2, grade 2, and then 3 to 6. Do 2 classes there, 2 at Margaret Wooding. Well, I guess 1 at I.F. Cox School and 1 at Margaret Wooding to get the two guys there, or the 2 classes there. Herald School is one that typically hasn't registered for the program, but it's the one I went to school. So I brought a calf there and they still didn't re-register, but I'm trying to stay away from the schools that are normally registering with CAP, so Herald School being one of them. I've probably done a presentation at just about every one of those schools, and then the Medicine-Hat, so Medicine-Hat Public Schools and then Medicine-Hat Catholic Schools. So I've kind of picked St. Louis School there. Just kind of schools that may not have as many resources. So resources we have right now.
I got a question, Connie. Yes. And I don't know if you want to wait till after, but I always...
No, go ahead.
I always forget, so I...
Yeah, me too.
Whatever. So out of these 29 schools you talked about targeting, are you like just picking like 3 or 4 this year and then, or...
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you're...
Yeah, 5 to 10 classes this year
Okay.
Be way too many to do them all.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
as a pilot
How
project.
could you do all that? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
as a pilot project. So Jenner School was up there because it was one of those schools that doesn't really get hit in a lot of, so I just included it. There's a hub virtual school. We could develop a presentation for that kind of a program as well. So resources we have now is my Dirt to Dinner book, I don't know, you guys probably all saw it. I
What?
have a copy for each of you.
That dirt to dinner?
Since you're all grandparents, Keith, are you a grandpa yet? Yeah. Long time ago.
Make sure Robin gets one back there.
Robin gets one?
Yes, because I think I got one of these. These are good reading, got a lot of pictures.
So maybe you should wear a t-shirt like this.
Yeah.
So Dirt to Dinner, agricultural job group cards, I've got those on my slides. Puzzles, I'll show you those. Resources for Agriculture for Life page. They also give these books out to classes. I don't know if we can source those if we're making our own project. And then commodity groups, they generally give out lots of freebies. So we could look at putting together teacher packages in a county bag, because we've got county bags, right? And then we had that $1,000 we didn't give, so I've got a budget for $1,000 this year. Future, if we want to go big or go home, we can take the Cypress County website. I had my website on. It was I Love Dirt. Yeah, it was I Love Dirt, but I've taken it down now because it was pretty expensive. And I wasn't selling any books on there, so I didn't. So I took it down this year. I had downloadable activity sheets there. We could do that. We could have a seed sample library. One of the things that I take to classes, and kids love this, right? We've got fertilizer, we've got canola. I mean, anytime you can give kids something to hold and look at, yellow mustard, beans, I mean, alfalfa cubes, I've had an ear tag in here. Anytime you get kids something,
Do you have wheat?
of course I have wheat, somewhere.
Just making sure, because, no, for kids, I mean, when they hold that,
Yeah,
that's thinking out loud. When they hold a wheat there, and then you can say, you know, it's made into flour, and that's, flour is made into your bread, and this is how it all starts, from this little kernel.
Yeah.
I actually have a wheat head one in here too. And this is kind of, yeah, wheat. So that's a very nice thing to have. Maybe we make a couple kits up like that and have them for whenever the volunteers want to use that. They come in and sign it out or whatever. Seed library. This thing I got from the Classroom Agriculture program probably 10 years ago. So this is how I start every single presentation.
With a watermelon.
It's an apple. Man, you need to be in one of my presentations.
Right.
So how important is agriculture? And this is why I get very passionate when I see good agricultural land being subdivided. Okay, so 3/4 of the planet is covered by water, so we can't grow food on this. I mean, we get fish out of the ocean, but we cannot have agriculture here. So we've got a quarter left. And can we use this for agriculture? And the kids go, yeah, no, because half of that is deserts and mountains and glaciers. So we don't have that, Mr. Kirby White. So now we've got an eighth left. So can we have agriculture produce crops on here, feed people, 9 billion people? No, because 4/5 of that is too wet, too dry, and covered by cities. And cities are growing bigger, Mr. Kirby White. So we've got 1/32 left for agriculture. So when the kids see this, this is a very powerful message to them. So
That is a good
That is a really good
analysis of
analysis,
Yeah.
yeah.
that every kid and simple adults like me can understand.
yeah, so I don't know if there's something, we want to make a few of these that people can take. This was done up by Agrium. So they gave each of us coordinator's one of these. But yeah, this is still effective. You can do it with an orange and just peel away.
Yeah.
But that's big, and the kids can see it.
Well, they can make sense of it then, right? Like,
Exactly, exactly.
That's very good.
So this was off my website. So these are the puzzles I was talking about. There's a word search and a crossword puzzle. The crossword puzzle I use at the end of my presentation to summarize everything. But I also have t-shirts that I've made up, and these they didn't sell on the website, so I've given them away as prizes at the Stampede when I have my thing there. And so there's our puzzles, and again, this kind of thing can be on the website that the kids can download or teachers can download, have us as another resource. Volunteers, in the past I've had volunteers from AFSC, Richardson's, local agronomists, agrologists, farmers, ranchers, ag industry, the Stampede Queen and Princess have been involved almost every year. So the action plan, I'm proposing we start with a pilot project for 2026. That gives us about 6 weeks, mid-April to the end of May, with 5 to 10 classes with an introduction letter of an ag presentation to select schools, 2 in each, Prairie Rose, Red Cliff, Medicine Hat Public, Medicine Hat Catholic, 1 in kindergarten to grade 2 and 1 in grade 3 to 6. In 2027, I think we should aim for at least 20 presentation and possibly 3 Canada Day assemblies, and I'll get more into that. If more inquire, we'll look at more volunteers as needed. So I want to develop 2 different presentations for volunteers to use as needed. Lots of volunteers, they just use their own presentation. But this gives them a start, because it does take, probably 10 hours to put together a presentation. So K to 2 and grade 3 to 6. The grade 3 to 6 is done. It's my presentation based on Dirt to Dinner. And then K to 2 will be based on Dirt to Donuts. So here's a budget I've proposed to make the dirt. So the dirt gets made, well, I'll go after that. But it's about $20 to $25 for all those ingredients put together. If we want to do barrel planters, probably another $50 there to do one. That might be a little bit high. Or art projects, and this again is something we can look at to do an assembly. I'm kind of envisioning having stations around in the gymnasium, the projects that kids have put together, they can show them there, and then we can have a speaker on agriculture there.
I got a question.
What's that?
Funny, with your barrel planters,
Yeah,
that's a good idea, because you would be able to keep them inside the classroom by the window.
exactly.
Sunshine, because like I stated before, that was down in the flats where the wife was part of, and they did a whole little
Yeah,
greenhouse deal, and the kids were so happy
yeah,
watching the plants all grow, and then it got vandalized.
yeah,
And it broke the kids' hearts. They were upset
yeah,
that somebody would go and do that.
yeah.
But she said the little ones, they just love watching and being able to water it and watch the plants grow. And
Yeah, like, we might
and I
have to
do
put a
have quite
tarp.
few
Yeah,
planter barrels for you,
yeah. A few hundred, eh?
a few hundred.
See, that's the recycling project part
There
of
we go.
this. And then art projects, again, making up things like this to have at an assembly, and to possibly use when the county has their booth, that kind of thing. Because we're always struggling to, what do we put here, right? Got our rats brochures, but yeah, this is kind of cool. And then at some point, maybe mileage for volunteers. I've gotten mileage sometimes, but I don't know, they're really cheap now with the classroom agriculture program. So proposed activity for Canada Day, invite schools to have a Canada Day assembly on February 9th, which is Canada Agriculture Day. Classes can present what they made at the assembly, stations with ag projects for the school. County have a table with rats, weeds, and I don't know, the drone or whatever. And then, you know, I've got 6 projects, yep.
We got a little issue there, because we can't have rats there because we don't have any rats in our county.
Stuffed rat. And February 9th seems to be a pretty good time for our staff to be a little involved in this, right? You're not spraying weeds and all that good stuff. So project ideas. So I was thinking if we want to get really, you know, get these kids really trying to achieve different levels, we could present these 6 projects, and then for each project they complete, they get a certificate. I don't know how far you guys want to go. Kids always like, you know, a reward, right? So the one I'm most excited about is to create a recipe book on how many things you can make with one Canadian agriculture product from all the kids in your class. So if your thing is wheat, you could say, well, you make pasta, you make pizza, you know, so they could, and then you get, because so many of the kids are immigrants, you could have like a whole lot of different recipes, right? So that one just seems to be kind of a cool one, you know, especially if you pick something like beans, and so maybe they could do that. A creative photo album or art album of farm animals the kids have seen or met. Create a mosaic board, or build a model farm. And this is kind of where we would give the schools possibly some money to help with supplies for this. So this is the letter I've proposed to send. Dear teachers, the Cypress County Agricultural Service Board is implementing a county-sponsored agriculture for kids. I mean, we can change that name. Program to provide agricultural education to school children within the boundaries of Cypress County, of the county, including the Prairie Rose, Redcliffe, Medicine and Public, and Medicine Catholic. Our goal is to connect rural and urban and teach kids about agriculture. This is similar to the classroom agriculture program started 35 years ago, but with more localized content and with hopes of getting more participation and expanding the age range from kindergarten to grade 6. We are starting with a pilot project with 5 to 10 school presentations starting in mid-April to end of May 2026. We have selected your school for this pilot, and we hope to send a volunteer to do a 1 to 1.5 hour presentation to one of K to 6 classes and 1 to 4 to 6 in your school. Pardon me?
You said K to 6, it's K to...
Oh, K to 2 and 1, 4 to 6. Our presenters work in the agriculture industry, and there's no cost to the school, but we are looking for one of 5 projects, that should be 6, to be completed by the receiving class. A description of those projects are included in the attachment of this letter. The projects may be used in trade shows, conferences that the county is involved in. And then you can contact Cypress County Ag staff or Connie Kapler, or I've got an email there, or do we want to create a special county email address just for that? And kind regards, Cypress County Ag Service Board. Is there any changes you want to make to that letter, or is this letter okay to go out, or any suggestions? Looks good.
Open to all suggestions from everybody in the room.
Yes.
Joe, what do you think?
Just one thing, just quick without, you know, it should be K to 3, though.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Something else I wanted to change.
Yeah, I think I had it K to 2 and 3 to 6. Because grade 3, they start reading more, and K to 2 is still more play.
And what about the schools? Are they not K to 3 and then 4 to 6, I think?
Yes. Yeah.
In Redcliffe it is, so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can adjust it according, yeah. Yeah, but you're right, I'll change that there.
I was wondering why the grade 3 years were.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'll change that.
Can you use your mic?
We know that Urban School has been doing a project. Are we duplicating something here, or should we maybe contact, make sure that, we can work together instead of independently? Or is this just something we're going to do all on our own? I mean, I've never thought of Urban School till just now, so.
Yeah, I mean, Urban
They
School
do have
is,
quite a program out there, and I mean,
Yeah.
we're.
well, that's Cadillac over there, right? They've got live animals, I mean, they've got everything right there. And I'm pretty sure I've gone to Urban School to present too. I don't think we're stepping on toes. I mean, I'll talk to Nicole and tell her what we're doing, and I'm sure she'll be thrilled.
No, just a question.
Keith, I think it's, like Urban, they don't get out to the other schools. They don't come to Red Cliff and do a presentation. They don't go to the Catholic schools and do a presentation. They have their own little thing down there, and what Connie is presenting is more classroom teaching
Yep.
at different schools. And Kyle, go ahead.
I guess what I would say to that is kind of similar to what they said, right? Is Irvin has a setup there for it with their actual ag program. Ralston has gone on board with a similar program and kind of piggybacking on them, where something like this would, I think, fit in with where Prairie Rose right now has, they're going to build that ag school out here on the edge of county, where something like this would help to bring kids' level of interest into that, right? So you might have kids that never thought of careers in agriculture before, and when they think of us in agriculture, they just think of, the big red barn in the field, where they don't think of the agrologists and all the other careers. So this would be a good program to kind of bring those kids' interest into that, which would hopefully push more kids in that direction of ag schooling or job creation, right? And keep more kids in the local area. But I don't think we're piggyback. I'd like to actually see Nicole and them come on board with us, and we can utilize them in a lot of their knowledge. Like Nicole's great to have, so having her as a volunteer to help with us would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she's really busy with what she's doing, so I've never thought to ask her as a volunteer when I was a coordinator, because she's doing so much already. So, but yeah, I will definitely let her know that we're doing this, and I'll let the Ag for Life people know that we're doing this as well. And then I'm hoping we can either buy the booklets that they produce, which will actually be good for them, because the more you print, the cheaper it gets, right? So.
I'd just say, like, even some of the other commodity groups and stuff, like, I'm involved with ABP and stuff, so I'll be speaking to their general manager and seeing if there's anything that they can contribute and stuff too, because those commodity groups might be able to throw some funding our way too as well. So some of those other sponsorships might be important.
Yeah. Well, we used to, when we got together as a group of coordinators, we used to get a bag full of stuff. So it had pulse growers, it had booklets of everything, they had keychains or whatever. So we always got a lot of this stuff that we could make a kit and send it to the teachers, along with the volunteer. So for this year, do you guys want me to just take it all on, or do you want to create a county email account for this?
Joe?
Yeah, sorry, just to chime in, I guess just in terms of process, and Lisa, please correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but my understanding, I think, would be, so this generally aligns with the business plan set out by Ag Service Board ways ago in terms of communication of agriculture in the community, really focusing in on schools. So that was why we had, and it is Ag for Life was the program. So that's why we had looked at the sponsorship for Ag for Life to provide that. With this one, we're looking at a change of budget. We're also looking at a change of the service delivery of how we're trying to do that. I would suggest that we should have a motion approved here, so we can provide, or put together that request for decision for Ag Service Board, but I think this would need to go to council. So we'd be looking for basically Ag Service Board's recommendation to take to council for that approval, because it is changing budget and it is changing the service delivery mechanism. Lisa, would you?
Yeah, like, we had $1,500 in the budget for Ag for Life, and at the last meeting, they wanted to reduce that to 500.
Yep.
So we would have $1,000 for the pilot this year as she's proposing. So potentially for 2027 then, we might need an increase to see if this would be a actual.
I think my suggestion though is changing where the funding, so even though the net is a zero sum, but changing that and doing that budget amendment, it's taking kind of from one pot and putting it into a new pot. And that would require a council approval. I don't believe that you and I could authorize that.
Okay.
Okay, I'd be willing to make that motion to I guess, send this to council and,
Create an RFD to.
yeah, if that's the direction we want to go.
And sorry, not to like put a wet blanket, because I think the initiative actually is quite strong. Like I think a more focused local and being able to drum up local volunteers. I guess there's always uncertainty around volunteerism and being able to go out and source that. I think that the initiative itself is fantastic. I just want to, I guess, make sure that we're checking the right boxes and that we're pulling from the right pool, and that I'm not going to have an auditor breathing down my neck later.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I guess my one question would be, how quickly could we get county approval on that? Like, just, could we break it into two parts? So you'd maybe get county approval to do the pilot project for this spring, and then term it out that pending the results of the pilot project and the volunteers and the schools buy-in and all those types of things, expanding it then the following year.
We'd be able then to put it into our budget for the following year. But I don't see why we couldn't get it into our next council meeting so they could go ahead. But I would really like Connie to do the presentation in front of all of council so they can hear your ideas, right? Hate to say it, but right from the horse's mouth. You know, and because you did a really good presentation,
I'm not done
very
yet.
passionate with it.
We still got 89 slides to go.
So. Yeah,
At the end.
Okay.
okay, I was just going to say, I'll kind of side with Kyle here a bit. I think if you do the pilot project first, then I think we really need to evaluate where we're going with this. You don't want to change the whole structure if it's not going to fly, and if there's no buy-in by the schools. I mean, if the schools aren't interested, then we're hooped. You know, you can't do nothing. So I'm thinking, pilot project, let's see how it goes, and evaluate, and then we can always make further commitments after that.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and that's exactly what I thought. So what my presentation has is jobs in agriculture. The kids read these cards. I make dirt with the kids, and the cards and well, I'll go through this again. So we start with the slice of life, which was that, and then we make this dirt. And I was going to make it for you guys here, and I thought, no, you're going to spoil them. They already got cookies. So I take a bag of cookies, I put them in Oreo cookies, put them in a Ziploc. I crush them with my hands, and I tell kids that 12 to 15,000 years ago, glaciers came through Canada, ground up the rock, and that was the start of soil forming. Then I get a kid to read the dairy farmer card. I get a package of chocolate instant pudding with a liter mason jar. We pour the milk into the jar, put the lid on. The kid takes it back to his or desk and shakes it for 15 to, or a couple minutes. And that's what your organic matter is, that whole soil particles together. In the meantime, another child comes up and reads the entomologist card, and they add Smarties for beetles and worms. The next card is a microbiologist, and they add sprinkles. So really connecting science into agriculture. And then we put that in there. We add marshmallows for snow. That adds moisture to the soil, and you can add shredded coconut, but most kids don't like coconut, so I got rid of that. And then one by one, other kids come up and read about jobs in their agriculture. Engaging kids like this is very, is like they get to be in the agriculture industry for what, 10 seconds. So I found when I first did this, like 30 years ago, I had like every kid read a job. And then everybody got fidgety because kids aren't always that good at reading, and it gets a little boring. So 12 is about the limit. We stir up the Jell-O pudding, and I put it into Dixie cups, and they get to eat it. So that little thing, just kids love that, and I'll never get rid of it.
We both just said that.
Yeah, it keeps them engaged, eh?
Oh, yeah. So the dairy farmer comes up, says, I have several dairy cattle. This is what they eat. This is how much milk they produce. And they're making this organic matter based on milk. Sheep farmer. So this again, kids don't think about clothes coming from school or wool coming from agriculture, like their clothes coming from agriculture. They don't think about that. Or your cowboy hat's coming from agriculture. Veterinarian, there's a little calf I took to Herald School one year. It was 20 pounds. The kids formed a circle. We had the calf in the middle. They got to bottle feed it. It was spectacular.
Well, I bet
Till
they
she
love that.
peed. They go, ah. So live animals, if somebody wants to bring a live animal, you always have to check with the teacher if one of our volunteers wants to do that. Agricultural engineer, so trying to get a very broad display of all the different jobs in agriculture. A sugar beet grower, because of course dirt has lots of sugar. Grain farmer, entomologist, of course very important to agriculture. Microbiologist, of course. There's a rhizobium bacteria. Lawyer, of course, involved in agriculture. Again, kids don't often relate these to agriculture. Bank manager, it's always good to tell kids that farmers don't have money right away. They have to raise their crop first, and they get paid about once a year. Potato growers, egg producers, and so those are the 12 cards I have. So this is Dirt to Dinner. I read every second slide to them. We go into soil, warm weather, tools and equipment, and they can do a little matching there. Water, of course, different irrigation, sunshine, photosynthesis. That's Christina's daughter there. She used to work for the county. Nutrients, we talk about fertilizer, compost, bacteria. Bees, of course, the kids need, and how bees talk to each other.
You won't bring bees into the school, will you?
No. I could have one in a thing. I should, actually. Weeds, this is amazing. In the city kids, I ask who's ever pulled weeds, and just about the whole class has pulled weeds at one point. So there's lots of kids for working at the county. And then helpers and partners, of course, important. That's Doug McCauley up there doing biocontrol. So all the different jobs, I think kids are always amazed at how everything eventually links back to agriculture. And then we talk about different crops, and I've been focusing on my garden here. So kale, lettuce, Swiss chard, and beet greens. Trying to get kids to eat the rainbow, right? That's kind of a big thing. So this was at one point a project I thought that kids could do at Rolling Hills School, is one of these. These are made from irrigation wheels, the wheel moves. So yeah, you can harvest stuff out of there. But again, I think this could get vandalized. Spuds and tubs, I mean, this is something the potato growers started, and this is something we could do. And then what each one has for health benefits. I heard that, you know, a family went out to a U-pick operation to get your own vegetables, and they couldn't find the potatoes because they didn't know they had to look underground. So that's kind of one of the things I've put in this book too. And then, yeah, there's my grandkids in my veggie shed. Just all the different crops. And there they can do a bit of a matching thing. Herbs and spices are in there. I've been donating strawberry plants to Rolling Hills School and to Irvin. So just a little guide on how to plant them. Again, how to plant them. There's a big beet. And this again is the slice of life. And then we always need to give thanks for what we get. There's a recipe for dirt. Website. So at the end of my presentation, we do this together as a class. Each child gets one of these crosswords, and then we go through it one by one. Grows underground and is high in vitamin A. So this kind of ties everything back together. And then I post these up on the blackboard or on the magnetic board because some of these are hard to spell. Soil, seed, weather, tools, equipment, irrigation, rain, weeds. These all fit into that crossword. Photosynthesis. And I joke that, you know, they're going to learn, this is going to be on their spelling test, chlorophyll. So they're learning some pretty advanced things. Bees, work, partners, helpers. Okay, this is what I'm starting to develop for kindergarten to grade 2, grade 3, grade 2, and 3 to 6. Dirt to Donuts. So this is a book I wrote, but I haven't published yet. So I'm going to try this on my granddaughter's class in April. So she's grade 2. She's grade 1, she should be grade 2. So yeah, we're introducing wheat, ground into flour. And then you need sugar beets. And then you need eggs. I've been stealing from the egg producers and everywhere else. Milk, you need to make donuts. And then canola to cook the donuts. So we're introducing quite a few sectors here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different sectors. And the ingredients to make them. So yeah, I'm kind of envisioning the kids reading with me, going, no, 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 no. But we'll see. I haven't done this one yet. But yeah, that's what I've got today. That was 99 slides in what, how many minutes?
Very good, Connie.
Very good. Joe, now if we wanted Connie to bring that in front of council, we'd have to do a delegation request, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I believe so. And the delegation request process is a little bit easier now. I think it could just be a conversation. So Leslie Ann can kind of schedule in, Legislative Services Manager, Collins can look through kind of what we've got for delegations planned in, and try and get on it as quick as we can. Because I do understand the timing around this, if the desire is to try and get in front of classrooms in May.
Yes, yes, so we can get we'd like to get our pilot project
Yep.
off this year, and then we got all summer and part of the fall to reassess and for budgeting and that, if we want to move forward with this, which I think it's a great move and part of what we are is education and trying to promote agriculture.
Yep. Like I said, there, like the direct alignment, I think, to the business plan and the goals of the Ag Service Board are clear. Yep.
Okay. So Kyle had the motion that we request to bring it to council as a delegation and for, well, we got the money for that. For, yeah, funding for it, just that we can move the funding from one source to over to the other, I guess.
Correct. Yep.
Okay? All in favor? That's very good. I like that apple. That was interesting.
Yeah, I like the apple too.
Yeah, I would love to see some more of these get made. They're probably pretty expensive to get made. I don't know.
We could probably approach Agrium though as like a sponsor for the
Yeah,
program and stuff
yeah,
too though,
yeah.
right?
And AFSC, like Tyler was one of my presenters, and they always had money for
Promotion.
stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can't go though. You can't leave.
I can't leave?
No. Well, you can go there, but you can't walk out the door.
No, I know.
Oh God, now I gotta start my computer again. And that's right, it won't let me back in. There we go. Okay, the minutes from the last meeting. Everybody read them? Any errors, deletions, omissions, or? Move as presented. Keith moves as presented. All in favor? Carried. Next will be our reports from our.
Okay, so meetings and events. So all of us, the Ag staff, attended the Alberta Invasive Species Council Conference and pre-conference workshop in Olds. That was March 10th to the 12th. There's relevant topics and information that are always presented there, and many credits that we can utilize towards the renewal of our pesticide applicators licenses. So that's a very valuable conference, and it's fantastic. I attended a meeting on March 20th in Brooks to discuss the unveiling of a new herbicide called Rejuvra. So Rejuvra is a pre-emergent herbicide that delivers long-lasting control for invasive annual grasses and select broadleaf weeds. This includes downy brome. Medusa head and ventinata are hopefully not in Canada yet, but they are very close. They're in Montana. So anyway, Rejuvra is basically the same active ingredient as Esplanade, which we use for downy brome on roadsides, but this is the range and pasture version now. So producers will be able to purchase that and use it on range and pasture. So that's very exciting.
Can you?
You wouldn't happen to know a cost on it yet, would you?
It's cheaper than Esplanade because it's for producers. That's all I know. I should be getting a price list probably next week, I think.
But
So-
we're not selling it, it's. you
No.
have to go through- Yeah.
Yeah, no, you'd have to go through.
Can you make sure that is on our website? So producers know that that product is available now for downy brome in
Okay.
pastures.
Sure.
Please.
Yes. Okay. What else here? We've had a conversation just online about the salt lever, again, just with the province and special areas 2 and 3 and a fella from Saskatchewan and that sort of thing. So we'll pick up where we left off with that when it starts growing. Did you have a question about that?
No, I just wanted to know how it went.
Okay, good. We've kind of come to the conclusion at this point that hand-picking is where we're gonna have to start, because there are 2 registered herbicides for salt lever in Canada, and neither one can be used by aerial application, and they don't stay put in the soil. So as soon as it's on, it'll run, and with the proximity to the river, it's not advised to use it in that location anyway. So, yeah, we're kind of running out of options already. And the weed specialist with the province is suggesting, like, if we're gonna start picking, like, of course, to work from the outside in, because it's, you know, we want to try and contain it from going further and potentially into crop or things like that. So, and to prevent spreading it. So it's going to be having boot brushes and that sort of thing with, you know, in the trucks or on your person or whatever. And yeah, it'll be quite a little program, but they have volunteered to come and give us a hand for a day. So we'll see how it goes. Special Areas has a crew of about 15 that they can utilize on their side. And we'll have summer staff. We'll have 7 summer staff and us and provincial employees potentially. So we'll do a weed pull for a week or something. I don't know. We're just waiting to see. We don't know when it's going to really start growing or being easy to see, germinating, you know, like everything's just kind of up in the air at this point, because it'll be the first spring that we've known it's there. So okay, so the grant report, the 2025 ASB grant report is open. We've been picking away at that, trying to get that filled in. There's been some challenges with this reporting because it's a new platform that they've switched over to. So we're kind of just giving it another week or 2 yet to make sure when information is filled in, it's going to actually submit properly. So we have until April 30th to get that in. Environmental farm plan, so there's been 6 approved since January. And this was just interesting. I came across in 2025, it was the highest participation in the EFP program for Alberta producers. So it certainly was reflected in Cypress County with the 38 that we did last year. So that's all I have. Is there any questions? Keith?
When you pull these weeds, are you going to have to bag them and carry them out?
Yeah.
So guessing on some of the topography, that's going to be a real workout for somebody.
That's right. So we'll try, you know, maybe taking a spray tank out of a Kubota or something and getting that as close as we can, because we'll be able to get that in probably, you know, in rougher terrain than a truck, or I don't know what we're going to do, but.
So is this plant like a bulky plant with a single root, or is it like hawksbeard where it's all these little?
No, it is a taproot. It can get very deep, but you know, we're finding it's quite shallow. I mean, the tiny little seedlings are, it's relatively easy to pick that we've found so far. But yeah, getting to it and then, yeah, getting the bags out without ripping them on rocks and things like that too. So yeah, like I don't envision that we're gonna get very far, but we have to try. We have to do something, right? So it's probably the best option at this point for, you know, yeah, until something else is kind of figured out.
Nothing. Have to do something.
Okay.
Maybe the office needs a field day.
Sounds like team building for the county.
Workout day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so for my report, for our events this spring, we had our environmental farm plan workshop here at the office on March 4th, and we had 3 producers come in attendance, and 2 of 3 of those producers completed their farm plans, and they have been approved. That invasive species workshop that was planned for March 8th with the 4-H club was postponed due to weather that we had that Sunday. Wet, rainy snow that was quickly freezing, so they had contacted me and said we are going to postpone for now, and we are just trying to work on a new date for that. Our tree care workshop with Tozo will be tomorrow afternoon, and at the time of the report, we had 20 people registered. That number has doubled. We have about 40 people registered now for tomorrow afternoon.
Where's that at?
It'll be at the Holiday Inn in Medicine Hat.
Holiday Inn?
Sorry?
The Holiday Inn?
The Holiday Inn, yes.
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock, yes. Are you planning on popping by?
But I might send somebody.
And then we're continuously looking for opportunities to put on events for our residents, and we're actually, the manager of Ag Services and I have been starting to maybe plan for a couple larger events for next year. Just trying to get some of those, planned so that we can talk about budget when that time comes for next year. For our rat inspections, we have begun doing our regular springtime inspections along the Saskatchewan border. We've been working in the areas north of Highway 1. We have not seen any signs of Norway rats to date. And then our ASB newsletter will be published on April 7th. Any questions? Thank you.
I was just gonna say, so that spray, could we put that in the newsletter too, instead, and on the website? Because I know some people don't maybe look at the website.
Yeah.
I know, I don't look at the website, but I look at this paper one.
All right, so staff has been going through all of our spray equipment, fixing any issues and modifying if needed to ensure there's no downtime for the spraying season this year. I've been assisting Fleet with our rental equipment to get that all organized for 2026. And then staff has completed 4 soil erosion inspections in the 7 Persons area.
So our seeders are ready to go?
Yep, one is just about ready to go, just doing some wheel bearings and stuff on it, so should be good to go by the end of the week, so.
Second question. Under them soil erosion inspections, were they fairly bad?
Nothing significant, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on it, see if it gets any worse, but.
Yeah, because if it gets bad, you have to let Public Works know.
Yep.
Because you may have to clean the ditch for drainage issues.
Yep, yeah, there was nothing significant anyways, so,
The farmer will be charged.
yep. Any other?
Yep. I believe, yeah, the cost is. Cost recovery. Because we implement it when, I'm very sure it's in there. When Tabor, MD at Tabor and County of Newell, they all did that because of their problem with their potato growers, and now the potato growers are, when they are working to find, they are reseeding in the fall. And that's why some of these fall triticale and fall rye are hard to come by, because fall wheat, they're starting to really seed that just to keep their ground from moving.
There's a bylaw for that,
Yeah.
too. Yeah, on the website, you can find it, policies and bylaws. We should what? Yeah.
So make sure your garden doesn't blow. No.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Thanks.
We need, Kyle's gonna move the reports as presented. All in favor? Carried. Range Days 2026 sponsorship.
This is on here. Okay, so there was a sponsorship request for the Southern Alberta Youth Range Days again. $500 is in the budget for this, and yeah, it's up for your consideration. It targets youth age 13 to 18, and they talk about rangeland and all those good things. And it will be in Writing on Stone this year.
I will move to sponsor the Youth Range Days. It's a great program.
Any questions, concerns? All in favor? Any opposed? Connie? Oh, sorry. Okay, items for information. There's I just wanted to throw something out at you guys. If I can find it again. Well, I guess it had to do with the Lacombe Research Station. If we should also write a letter. To our
What page is it?
ag minister and even the federal. Or do we just go to the ag, to our minister and he passes it on? Or do we go straight to, I think we should go straight to both.
I agree.
Yeah, I'd send one to federal ag ministry or provincial ag minister, local MLAs, you know, send a cop, CC Glenn Motts and stuff, like that'd be a good idea.
There's going to be nothing left. I mean, it's just
It is
chipping
getting,
away at it, right?
it is getting sad, and without them research stations, we wouldn't be where we're at right now in ag with even our different types of seeds and, I mean, that's where, and a lot of people use them now, try to kill it. Come, you know, as feed and grazing and that is, because it's a cross. And none of that stuff would have been come about if it wasn't for our research stations doing their research on stuff, and I really think it's a step backwards, and that's sort of my opinion on it, but. Blainster, what do you think?
Sure, no, yeah, I'm just, was reading it a little bit here. Yeah, I know, I think we need to make the government aware that these research centers are important avenues for agriculture to, you know, advance agriculture, advance
Advanced agriculture.
programs and different things like that, you know, like you said, seeds, and it's too bad they're shutting them all down, or trying to.
And one thing that you should, too, is put in your letter, just that you can't research in Ontario and thinking it's good for here.
No.
You know, it's region by region, it's not country by country. You know, that it's very important that we have our own here for our region, because our region is, even Alberta is really different. We go from dry to medium to wet type deal.
Lacombe isn't like us.
What?
Lacombe isn't like us.
Yeah,
No.
but I mean,
Well, the west is way different than the east. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's be honest, there's different practices that work well here that don't work there, and vice versa.
yeah.
Are there any of those stations left? Like, is Swift Current station still open down there?
I think so.
I don't know about Swift Current, but didn't they close Indian Head and stuff too there?
I know Indian Head closed and there was Stavely had one. So I'm not sure if
Stavely's, I think Stavely's closed.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. And then there was Swift.
Lethbridge had one.
Swift Current's still going because I'm pretty sure they had some sort of a field day there a year or two ago, I remember reading about.
Way. Psst. Braden,
Braden.
Google that. Go Swift Current Research Station, see if it's still open. Just curious.
I think the one at Morden is gone, right? Montana? Is it Morden?
I don't know.
The one in Swift, that's where a lot of like the research for crested wheatgrass and like a lot of our tame grass species has come from, is from there.
Yeah,
That's, when you look through their research papers, they're closer to us than a lot of the other, since we lost 1-4 all those years ago.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
don't have anything for this, the mixed dry grass region anymore.
Okay, do we have a motion for that?
Yes.
We need a motion to.
To write a letter? Connie?
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else coming out of the items for information in their team?
Not really, just a few letters, a few replies about our letter we sent for the livestock traceability. And, yeah, information on the EFP program, and there was something there about Alberta's future with vets or whatever, so, yeah. And then we have on here, sorry, like for the next meeting is not scheduled until June 23rd. So unless, you know, we made the motion for Connie's presentation there. So unless there's any other reason that we see now that we need a meeting sooner than June, or if something comes up, we can be in touch or whatever.
I guess, the only thing is if council approves Connie's request, that it be a known, if we could pass it now, that we wouldn't have to have a special meeting for the ESB to approve it then, that she would just get to go ahead from there instead of having
Okay.
another meeting. Everybody's good with that?
If we can do it that way, I mean, Joe?
Yeah, I think, 'cause, I mean, the way it should work, ASB would make that recommendation to council that they're supportive of that initiative. So even it going there, you've already basically gave the ASB blessing for it. So I would say that we should be able to put it to action if council chooses to approve that motion and that change.
Okay.
Basically, once Lisa gets the information back from the council meeting, it goes into
Action.
action. Okay.
Goes into Connie mode.
Connie move.
If we have time, I have a little video that was put out many years ago. It's about 5 minutes. You guys want to see it?
Sure, we got time.
Lunch will be here at 1:45.
Yes, I got a question. I mean, I'm assuming and everything, because I never said nothing to him. Ross has been contacted and he's all happy. Ross and Arlene Stafford for Farm Family.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Okay.
It was just Ross, and he was very,
To have this on. He was very surprised and very grateful that, you know, they were thought of in that capacity kind of thing, so, yeah.
Perfect.
yeah.
Next time I see him, then I can say something, because I
Yeah,
haven't
oh,
seen him.
yeah, sorry, I could have let you know that.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that was months ago, like right after.
Yeah, I was going to ask at the last
decided
meeting and
that.
then I forgot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just looked, the Swift Current Research Farm is still open, but they made cuts to their organic and regenerative ag programs, are cut. But the farm's still open,
That organic.
so big loss.
So the other, one day, I was going down
Did we
Kingsway.
adjourn, Shane, or did we,
No,
we're going to do the presentation?
yeah, Connie's going to do a presentation. There's a sign.
this movie is quite a few years old.
Organic.
This was done before Nice for Life took it over.
Patties at Freddy's Inn. I thought it said organic. I had to go around walking when you read it.
Do they vibrate or what?
I don't know. They're organic. Organic cotton patties, that's what it was. Leave it.
Pay an extra $20
Oh. No sound.
Isn't there a song, Mr. Pumpkinhead or whatever?
I mean, at some point, if Cypress County wants to do one featuring Cypress County farms, I mean, this is great staff here.
Only if we get to put the pumpkin on your head.
Only if what?
If you get to wear the pumpkin.
So who created this?
It was the commodity groups when it was the classroom agriculture program before Ag for Life took it over. So it's probably 6, 7, 8 years old now. We're not gonna get sound.
It looks good.
Yeah. It is on YouTube. It's on YouTube, yeah.
That is old, that's Rosie Templeton.
Is it?
That's quite old, actually. I think she's been in Kansas or wherever she lives now for the last 6 or 7 years.
Okay, eggs, beef, chicken, canola oil, bread, beans, milk.
Hi.
Are you really a scarecrow?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm looking for something different. I kind of got tired of just hanging around in the field all day.
Yeah. I can't imagine working on a farm.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it.
That's crazy. Oh, come on. There's somebody I want you to meet.
What are you doing?
Wait for it. Ta-da!
Hey, Nigel.
Emily, this is Greg Stam. He's a seed grower.
Hi, Emily. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Emily can't imagine working on a farm.
It just seems kinda old-fashioned.
Well, it's not much different than it used to be. You take good seed, good soil, and moisture, which we can provide with irrigation.
What kind of things do you grow?
Well, we grow crops such as this barley field, and we also grow wheat, durum, and flax, and seed canola. But the crops that we grow on our farm are mainly for seed production, which we sell to other farmers to replant the following year.
So if Nigel was looking for a job, what would some of his choices be on an Alberta crop farm?
Well, he could be a machine operator, he could be a farmer, he could be an irrigation specialist, and he could be an agronomist. But we could always use a good scarecrow.
I think I might want to try to work with animals. Come on.
Oh, wait. Bye, Greg.
Bye.
Hi. Hello.
Emily, this is Rosie Templeton. She's a cattle rancher.
Nice to meet you, Emily. Nice to meet you, too. Nigel's looking for a new job. Can you tell us a bit about working with animals here in Alberta?
Well, Emily, my family and I run a cattle ranch, which we call a cow-calf operation. In the summertime, our cattle get to graze wide open pastures, which is where they are right now with their mothers. And did you know, Emily, that Alberta has the most cattle of any other Canadian province? We have 5.5 million head of cattle here, which is almost double the amount of people.
Wow. So, what about chickens?
On Alberta's nearly 275 chicken farms, chickens are raised for either breeding, egg laying, or meat. The chickens that are raised for meat are raised in well-ventilated barns where there's plenty of light and room to move around, and they're able to eat or drink whenever they please.
So, if Nigel was interested in working with animals, what could he do?
Well, Nigel could be a cattle rancher, a sheep farmer, a dairy farmer, an inspector, a trucker, or even a veterinarian. Every farmer has a close relationship with their veterinarian to make sure that they can keep their herds and flocks as healthy as possible.
I don't know. I think I might want to try something else. I don't like the way this bull is looking at me.
Okay. Bye, Rosie.
Bye, Emily. Bye, Nigel.
Ooh. Hey, check this out.
Nigel, I don't think you should go up there.
Hi, I'm Keith. How can I help you?
Me and my friend Nigel were just curious about farming technology.
Okay.
What could you tell us about it?
Oh, I can tell you lots. Come with me. Well, this is a combine. What a combine does essentially is take grain from the field and separate the clean grain from the straw. The clean grain goes way up top there, and the straw gets spread evenly in the field once the combine goes through, so nothing gets wasted. We use GPS technology on the farm to help us drive big machines like this so nothing gets missed and lost. Similar to what we do on a dairy farm, for example, with RFID tags to keep track of cows and how cows move. So technology is being used throughout every portion of the farm.
Wow. Thanks, Keith.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I am Nigel 2.0.
Yeah, I like the old version better.
Really?
What happens next? How does all of this get turned into food?
Come on, I'll show you.
Wow, what's this place?
It's an egg farm, where you get eggs from chickens. All eggs are collected and sorted for shipping. Did you know brown eggs are laid by brown chickens and white eggs are laid by white chickens?
Cool.
At a modern dairy farm, these cows will go through the milker when they are ready to be milked. The robot milker knows just how much milk to take. Then the milk gets used for all kinds of dairy. Milk, cream, yogurt, ice cream, and cheese.
What about crops? I know you can eat peas and beans and other vegetables. What happens with all the other crops?
Well, barley, flax, and other grains are sold whole or milled into flour for baking or used for animal feed. Alberta is quite famous for our barley-fed beef. Canola is often pressed and turned into oil for cooking. We make sugar from our sugar beets. Some of our potatoes become potato chips.
And all of this ends up at my grocery store?
A lot of it will. But Alberta also ships its products across Canada and around the world.
Wow, this is really cool. Where are we going next?
I'll show you. Emily, this is Corrine Vandenberg. She's a scientist.
Cool, but what does science have to do with farming?
Well, Emily, science has a lot to do with farming and agriculture. In fact, science is the platform in which we can improve agriculture, improve our animals and crops, look at new ideas and technologies like equipment and varieties and breeds, and as well as steward our land and our water.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, check this out. What's really exciting about agriculture is how we can take existing crops, like these ones here, and use them in new ways. For example, as a biofuel or a replacement for plastics.
Wow. So what are you working on today?
We're doing a lot today. We're looking at new varieties of crops. We're looking at growth performance trials of our animals. We're also looking how we can use agriculture practices to reclaim our land. We're looking at innovation in this industry, and we're meeting a lot of interesting people along the way. If you're interested, there are programs in place where you can learn more about agriculture.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
So, maybe something in the agriculture science field?
Maybe, but I still have a few more questions.
Wait for me!
Excuse me, do you work here?
I do, I'm Cindy.
Can you tell me a bit about the products you have here from Alberta farmers?
Absolutely, we've got products all over the store from Alberta farmers. In our dairy department, we've got products that include milk and cheese and eggs. Also, if you move to the produce department, we have beets and beans and tomatoes and carrots.
What about chicken and beef?
Those too come from Alberta producers. We have beef and chicken in our meat department. And a lot of the food that comes into our stores comes in fresh in the raw states. In our deli department, we'll take the fresh chicken and we'll cook it so that you can take it home and eat it for dinner. In our bakery department, you'll see that we use the grains and the canola oil, and we'll make breads right in our store as well.
Wow, I had no idea that so much food came from right here in Alberta.
A lot of products also have animal byproducts. For example, cosmetics, cleaners, pharmaceuticals, even candy.
Agriculture. Who knew?
I did. That's what I've been trying to show you. It isn't just scaring crows all day.
There's so much I can do. Research, technology, veterinary science. I'm gonna have to check these out. What about you, Nigel? Did you find a new job?
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go back to the farm. I think that's where I feel I'd really be outstanding in my field.
Okay. Well, good luck.
You too, Emily.
Bye.
Will that Hellman's one play? I don't think you can find that one.
What?
There's a Hellman's video that's kind of shocking. The mayonnaise.
Okay, eggs, beef,
We gotta have it for the next
chicken,
meeting.
canola oil,
We need entertainment next time.
bread, beans,
Yeah.
milk.
Hi.
Are you really a scarecrow?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm looking for something different.
Okay.
I kind of got tired of just hanging around in the field all day.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to adjourn the meeting.
I can't imagine
Be me.
working on a farm.
Why not?
I adjourn the meeting.
I don't know. I
Well
guess
done.
I never really thought.
Oh, God, it's supposed to be only 20
crazy.
minutes long, look.
Oh, come on. There's somebody I want you to meet.
Well, you don't have to
What
tell
are
us,
you
we knew.
doing?